pick a part. And let's pick a key. Let's just keep it simple. I think I'm just going to go see what? See what? I don't know. Let's start it on minor for now. That's fine. It really doesn't matter too much because a mode is a mode is a mode, and they're all based on the same scale. So, okay. So the goal for today is to use things like step lengths and kind of like odd numbered steps and different like repeats and things like that to give us some densely polyrhythmic weirdness. And yeah, I don't know. See if it works. Should work. Can't see why it wouldn't work. But will it be dense enough? The other thing is this. When you start dealing with this, and like, if you don't have something to keep things constrained, then there is really there's no foundation. So I've been thinking about ways to do this, and like things like resets. If you have a reset command sent every, maybe an odd number, like every 15 beats or something like that. Like that right there would be like an instantaneous reset would give you consistency, right? So I don't know. Something to play with. That's kind of what today is all about. Just playing around with these things, seeing what happens. Those guys. These guys are going to go in here. Dink. And dink. Okay. And then I need gates. Just plug in the first one for now. Okay, so we're in C, whatever, minor. Okay, heck, we can put it in C major to be completely honest, and it really won't matter too much. Hey Nick, so we got to pick a couple of things, like how long do you want this to be? We can even use things like the generate commands, but I don't really feel like doing that. Okay, so what I'm going to do is put some kind of like chord steps. Oh, yeah. Hey, Ethos. Yeah, so the vector seems like it rounds down to the nearest chord tone. Okay. So let's say I play G, C, and E on a chord. Okay. And this is going to be, here's our bass line note, which is a G. We're going to go up 5 and then 9. Okay. So those are the steps, like your first note and then plus 5 and then plus 9. Okay. So what if I was in minor? That top note would be plus 8. All right. Now, if I moved this to like E flat, again in the key of C minor, that would be the right chord for the key. But my thing says +8, which is a G flat. G flat can't exist. So the vector, rather than going up to a G, it will go down to an F. So it'll play that instead of that. So, yeah, you kind of have to, sort of think about that. Otherwise, it just won't give you the notes that you want, which is sort of frustrating. Okay, let's make this 10 steps long. And then as far as a reset, I don't know. We'll just let it auto reset for now. And then I'm going to turn a gate on all of these steps. And we're just going to hit play. Okay. Happy. Okay, but if I go into my step length and I start dialing up steps, 1.5, 2, let's throw another 1.5 in there also, and even like a 3. And a couple of 2s. Okay, and then listen to what happens. Basic kick going. Now, if we change this to like 8th notes, that would be interesting. And it worked out to be 16 beats long. Hey, Cal. But, see, then, of course, we could also go into chance operations and do some weird stuff. So, for example, let's find one of the types is to go back to the beginning, which would be really, really cool. So let's do that on a couple of these steps. I think that's to go back to the beginning, or it's back one step. I forget. Even if it's one step, that would add some interesting chaos and coolness. So we'll put this at like 1/3 probability for each of these and see what happens. No Stolper beats yet. I don't have it yet. You know, it's Perfect Circuit. They ship whenever they fucking feel like it. No, it's supposedly shipped. I think I'm going to get it early this week, so. Now this on 16th notes would be madness. It would be interesting. Let's find out. Again, here's our beat, right? Release our kick. See, this is like chaos, and we kind of lose the beat because I'm doing these half 16th note blips in there, and it's kind of messing with things. I really like it as an 8th note, to be honest. But maybe what we do then is we just bump up the tempo to like 100. I was at 84 before. it would actually be kind of cool to put these on like either even or odd measures, so they don't all both occur at the same time. Looks like it goes back to a random step. Upside down. What's happening? Jason. Okay, let's hook up the second voice and get that going. Okay, you shut up for now. It is interestingly chaotic. Now, I'm going to start this one lower. Actually, let's bring this whole thing down an octave. And let's just make it 8 steps long. I think that'll be fine. And then again, we go to our step length. And we can even do some 3/4 or half, 2/3 length. 2/3 is weird. Yeah, step lengths. So let's make some of these 3 and then a couple of 1.5s. Now, if there's a 1.5, that gives me a 16th note worth, so I can put a half step in another place. And then like a couple of 2s, like so. You can even put it on random, which would be interesting. Now, channel 5 on the Maestro right now is sending out a reset, a 2-measure reset. I think instead, what I want to do is to change this to like a 14-beat reset. So like 2 measures of 7. Okay, so I'm going to start it with a 16th square and then a 16th low. That makes an 8th note. We need an 8th note low. And that makes a 1/4 note, and now we're at a half note, and now we're at 1 measure low. So now we can go 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, chain. Okay. But I've got this going to the mito. So let's chain this signal and donk it into the vector reset. I don't think I've ever even used the vector with a reset command. Ever. Like, not once. Nice, man. Yeah, we went out for barbecue last weekend, actually, and it was pretty great. There's a good place, like, kind of out in the countryside near us. That's really decent. Okay, and then we take our drums and we constrain them to 14 segments instead of 16. fan of this punch you in the face snare drum style that a lot of people use now. I'm not a fan. It seems like a badly dubbed Indiana Jones punch. Flinker, this is a modular synthesizer. A relatively large modular synthesizer. Let's call it that. Okay. That's all fine and dandy and all that other stuff. And this is a chaotic mishmash of stuff. So let's add some subsequences into the weirdness. Because why not? Specifically octaves. I think octaves are really good. So I like to just put this on like 4 steps. Let's put it on like eighth note. And then random. So we're going to put it on octave. So basically you have a 4-step extra sequence. And I'm going to put one of them an octave up and one of them an octave down. Yes, Kenneth. I 100% agree. Yeah. And also experiment. Because this is what I do in my other side gig. Anybody out there play disc golf, by the way? You should buy some disc golf dies from me. Because I make dank dies. But yeah, I'm a big fan of mixing up like custom colors and doing a lot of mad science-y kind of experimentation and stuff. And yeah, under the name Moogly Dies. What a shock. Okay, let's make another one then for the first track. And we'll make this one similar, random. Let's go 8th note, but not a ton of them up and down. We'll keep it 8 steps. How about that? That way it'll stay more in the middle. You disc, Nick? I didn't know that. How come I didn't know that? I figured that would have come up in conversation at some point. Okay, now, let's add a little bit of extra modulation into this, shall we? Of course we shall. Yes, indeed. How do we do that? Oh, I know. Here's what I want to do. I want to take a channel of water and put it in here. I think I'm going to unplug that there random trigger, though, because that's supplying it with a random trigger that will randomize the steps. Yeah, I mean, I'm not amazing at it. I have my moments, though. I mean, I have been playing for like 20 years, so like that comes down to a lot. Like, I can't drive for shit, but I'm pretty accurate. Okay, so that's like really cool. Now, keep in mind, we still have the subsequences from part 1 to deal with. And we are going to use those. Speaking of which, let's go to part 1. And let's just generate literally a single note bass. Just that. Self-generated synth? But what does that mean? Where would we derive probabilities for notes? You cannot. Using basic synthesizer voices, you need something specialized, and then it is no longer truly generative. No, you can't actually. You know, quantizer through like chaotic modulation, and then just like spit out random gates with logic. You know, I'm not trying to be that random today. Normally Sundays, generative ambient, it's right in my wheelhouse, right? Today is all about deep, complex polyrhythms and things just sort of moving and shuffling and doing weird shit. And I don't know what that's going to actually sound like. I really don't. See, it's because I stumbled on a random video and I went down the rabbit hole of your Ukrainian or Bulgarian choir music on Saturday, and I was really high at the time. Okay, I will freely admit, in a legal state, so it's really not a problem. Um, Speaking of homegrown weed, yeah, there you go. And it blew my mind. I've heard some before, but I guess I'd never really kind of like gone and listened to other performances. So yeah, one of those I sent to people, and I was like, oh my god. And I was serious when I said it was like super inspirational. Harmonies and stuff, yes, because it's all like Phrygian, and they're using these yeah, yeah, dude, it's so good. It is so good. That's the one that I sent to like everybody. I sent it to a bunch of people, and just like, and the lyric translation was hilarious. It's like, I hear a flute on the mountainside. I will go and find it. And if it is a boy from my village, I will love him for a day. And if it is a boy from another village, I will love him for the rest of my life. Kind of awesome. But like super close harmonies, like minor seconds and stuff. But like they're using a slightly different tonal system too, so like those things don't sound as like bad, and they're just generally passing tones. But like they also sing with super duper forward like brightness. They're very like like they're real like nasally sounding. So it's a completely different style of singing. Um, and it is my day job. I am a choir teacher, so it kind of makes sense. Yeah, pentatonic is okay. I'm a big fan of like Phrygian dominant, which is oodles of fun, to be honest. So yeah, it's the Bulgarian State Choir. So of course they're gonna like pick and choose like the hardcorest of the hardcore, which I can respect. But yeah, it's really really amazing stuff. So don't scoff until you try it. And then when you try it, sort of the middle section where it kind of starts this beat, they also have that typical Eastern European thing where they have long and short beats. They don't have like super fast subdivisions. They're just like seven is three. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Instead of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's like stupid. Like they just feel it. And so they have like long extended measures that might be like 24 beats long, but there's like long and short beats interspersed all through them. And I was like, dude, you could do that on the Vector, and that would be really easy. You know what I mean? So that's what I'm trying today. You know, something kind of similar to that by using the step lengths on the Vector. So let's try. I'm going to do the simplest bass line in the world. I think I'm just going to give it like a pulse. Let's just give it like, just whatever. Here, 8 notes on a C. Keep it super duper easy. Just giving us a little bit of a foundation. Who wants bass duty? I do, says the Oscar Tria from Black and Bleh. Blick and Bleh. I think this is what we did with this last time, anyways, which is fine. Actually, let's go up here. Let's go to font. Font. And I think I'm going to use that as my envelopey. Will you reach? Oh, you'll barely reach. It's not that fine. I have a slightly longer cable that I can use, I think. Yeah, that's a little better. Fwubba, fwubba, fwubba. It's fwubba-ing, it's good. Okay, if it doesn't fwubba, then you're in trouble. Um, yeah. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. 100% Flinker. Like, people are capable of making some really cool sounds. And when you put that in a group that's like led and directed by someone competent, I think you could get some really, really amazing stuff. Imagine, people who were trained for like polyphonic singing or like overtone singing, putting a bunch of them in a choir together. Would be kind of wild. But then you got to have somebody like specifically write music for that and then direct it. You need someone with the vision. Ah, nice. Well, welcome, Flinker. It always tickles me to get people all around the world just like listening in and hanging out. It's pretty great. It makes me so happy. Too much resonance. Why are you all cuckoo caca? Huh? What? Why are we panned? Why are we panned? What's happening? Bad cable? Is this cable shit? Maybe. I don't know. Let's sub it out and see. A little surprising, because, commonly in use. No? Well, what the hell? Also, wait a minute. Something is wrong. Oh, mother puss bucket. It's just me. I'm being stupid. I have something plugged into the wrong place. It's my one complaint on the ST font is the layout of the CV ins. It doesn't really make sense. Right next to the volt per octave, you have the frequency shift for stereo. And then right above it is another one that says frequency, but that's like the actual frequency. Kind of dumb. That's what I was looking for. Hey, Mike. Here's what I propose. We take this here subsequence, right? And we put it on... I'll leave it on quarter note for now. And we're going to use it as transpose, but I'm going to put it one step, right? Because then I can just go like... Okay, let's add more to this. should make this 7. That's the thing. Yeah. All right. Another voice, another voice, another voice. Let's look at voice 5. And actually, let's grab a wavetable from part 7. Add the gain. Okay. Will it be tuned anymore? I doubt it. All right, gate on. And then we'll just kind of write a little bit of a melody here. I think I'm going to put it into a different scale. I feel like it needs to be, it needs to be more minor. I've been kind of feeling that all along. You know what I kind of want to do is let's use Phrygian dominant. Okay, so let's go to F harmonic minor. But I'm going to move everything into the sort of the 5th mode of it. Which means I got to go in and kind of like transpose all my parts down by 3 scale steps. Dun dun dun. Then this is part 7, so same kind of thing. Bump, bump, bump. Wait. Let's get that dingy here. Wow, it started up and it was in tune already. That's wild. I keep waiting for it to be like, ping! Oh, sorry, you're not in tune anymore. I feel like it's probably going to. Change the internal VCA and make it a little bit more plucky sounding. Oh, there, it did it. It did it. I cannot read the display though. I had it at 254 before. 254 hertz for a middle C. It's normally supposed to be like 261, but I'm tuning to the Rhodes, and the Rhodes is just a little bit flat. Yeah, or honestly, I wouldn't recommend Ornament and Crime for a quantizer because it's kind of annoying to use. Because you have to supply it with a trigger, which is really dumb. But yeah, Bard Quartet is good. 4 channels. You can do some pretty cool stuff with it. Okay, now, I need to do the whole subsequence thing. Oh, it's getting a reset command. That's why. I was like, why is that part repeating? That's really weird. I was like, what is happening here? Okay, what if we reset our clock? That's weird, where it hits. So it's not quite in sync with the clock, which is annoying. But that's okay. Should we even worry about it? Yeah, that was unsuccessful. Okay, interesting. So far interesting. But I think actually you need a little bit more consistency. Those little, this whole yellow voice, those little two voices are just kind of, they're just kind of meandering along. You know, there's no structure there to them. I think probably partially because they are so short, like the sounds themselves, they're just little pew. Let's try something interesting with the demon core here. Let's build up some chords and stuff that are kind of different, you know? So first of all, let's bring all of this stuff down to a C. Second of all, we're going to go edit, 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 edit. Let's do a 7 part. And then each one will be... We could do them in 8th note sets, but then be like step length. We could be like 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2. So it's going to be a 3-measure loop of 7. Okay. All right. Now, let's gate these guys on. And we got to think here. What do I want this guy to be? Let's go... Could always slow this down to like half speed too. That would be interesting. Okay, so we're gonna go up. How long is that? G to E. That's 9. 9 half steps. So plus 9 and then plus 12. Do we want plus 9 again? We could try it, actually. Just put a plus 9 on all of these steps. It's not going to be perfect, though. And then an octave on all of the next ones. That one's going to be consistent. Okay. And let's get this patched up. And we might as well go into his bosom pal here. The neutron filter. Yes, it's good for you. Okay, alright, come on, cables, get it. Okay, and we're gonna have to vastly increase that. Get anything? This one is weird. These guys need to be at 9. Why are they at 8? I thought they were all at 9. See, that's that rounding thing again. Here is the question. does this respond to our subsequence? Yes, Nick. Yeah, that works. Okay, well, it's fucking weird, but I can accept weird. Let's modulate this sucker, though. That's really beautiful. I want to add a subsequence to that. Or sorry, chance operations. I'm gonna do a chance operations here, and we're gonna do rests 100%, but we're gonna only do it on even numbered measures. So then basically it should only play the first time, and then it'll be a rest. In theory. It depends on what you're trying to do, Captain Hook. Completely depends on what your goal is. My goal is to make, normally, big, like, whatever you want to call them, pieces? I don't know. There's no better term for it. With, you know, lots and lots of voices. And then arrange them on the fly. Which is, you know, that's my typical thing. So, if that's not your thing, then don't do the thing. Do another thing. We need more voice, though. I think a really simple, like a 7-note, 7/16th note. melodizer part going. Hey, I always have fun here. But thanks for joining in. Let's just do the thing here with the thing, though. All right. And we need a gate, and we need. Let's just make triangle wave. Could. Triangle wave, triangle wave. Making a sound like a triangle wave does, I guess. I guess that's what's going on. Alright, are you going to reach to the second Zadar? Yes, you are. Good job, buddy.
Good job. Congratulations.
Alright, and we're going to go into there. There meaning the 860 filter. Okay, and this guy can go also into yonder sea legs. But we're going to put him on the 12 dB filter. Dude, why are you so fast? Algorithms got me and is jamming it into people's feeds. Who only use their system to make noisy, squishy sounds. In mono. I don't know, man. Yeah. Expect this is live. This is not edited. This is not here in 10 minutes I will explain this detailed patch. Dude, that's one voice. Okay, that's there. That exists. That is all we can say. Francisco, what's going on? Let's see here. You know what I kind of want to do? Kind of want to set up something stupid. We already have this weird 14-beat reset going into the Mito. So, you know what? I'm kind of thinking it would be kind of cool to take a couple of these guys out and maybe throw them into the rample and then modulate their division rate and make insane rhythms. That would be fun. Especially since, like I said, it's already getting a reset command, so it should kind of hammer it onto a 7-beat cycle eventually. It's going to take a while for it to sort of seat itself in, you know. What do we got so far? We got nothing. What do you mean reverb? I don't like reverb. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what you. I don't know what you mean. There's no. Or you could be like those old school like engineer types that call everything an echo. Just put echo on it. and you put delay on it, and they're like, no! Echo, idiot! Ask me how I know. Okay, this is timed modulation in both of these rhythms. Can't you hear the beat in this? Kind of stupid, right? That's better. Let's face it, if we had that space, Jean-Michel Jackson. I'm jumping the gun. I need more voices. Needs more dog. There's very little meat in these gym mats. That's right, it's Simpsons time. Let's see here. Hey man, you can like what you like, but when you're as old as I am, and you can't read their goddamn text on their front panels, and everybody bitches about it, then change. Don't be all like, no, we're gonna be creative and impossible to decipher. If your user experience is less than optimal, find another module. There, that's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say. My personal preference. On a related note, though, I was on the noise engineering page, and when you start to look at their modules that they've like discontinued in the past, man, there's some wild stuff back there. It like wild that they don't make anymore, and I'm like, damn it. It's interesting. That's all I'm saying. I kind of dig it. Okay, let's stop clock for a second too, and let's think about another voice here. Something else that we can, maybe something super simple, just like a 7-note arpeggio. Just like keep it easy, you know. Let's do that. Part 5. Are you stopped? You should be stopped. Ding, ding, ding. And we're gonna put this guy on sub 1, pitch 2, and 7 notes long. 16th notes should be okay. But we'll do some chance operations to make it interesting. Okay, yeah. And do some like transpositions and stuff like that. Who want thing? Oh, you know what would be cool? We could do this as a fifths voice. Always a fan. Always a fan of the fifths. In fact, I believe I already have it set up. At least the precision adder. VPME precision adder, 2nd volt per octave going into the chainsaw.
The chainsaw.
Incoming acid rain module, the buzz saw. It's like an upgraded chainsaw. It looks pretty exciting. Let's do something different with this one. Let's send an envelope into the VCA instead of the filter, like I typically do. We'll go right down here to this boy, and then we'll just huck that into the VCA. And then we can do all sorts of different interesting things with our filter.
Because now it is independent from envelope control.
Mwah. The multi-mod definitely looks interesting. I'm not going to disagree. Oh, we need a clock. That would help. Thank you. Well, I'm not as much a fan of the VCA response. Yeah, I was actually planning on it using pan because it's the Ikari filter, and the Ikari filter has like a built-in panner and everything else. I need to change that envelope though. Let's put this on. D1. There we go. Less click. Put the auto filtering on. You're over there listening on your phone in mono. What do you need panning for? And why do you think I have all these stereo filters, huh? I do stuff. You don't even notice it. Everything I do, you don't even notice. Shuts down stream. Needs more delay. It's getting a little spicy, too. Okay. But I need some chance operations. Let's actually do an octave, kind of like the other one. I'm going to do a four note random octave, and just put one of these up an octave. So like. Bruce Ober. Yeah. Yeah. No, it is a vague portmanteau of my last name, and I was the only kid in my friend group in college that had a Moog, so they started calling me Moogly. Yeah, and it stuck. It's a dumb name. It's also not the only one. There's like 3 or 4 in the world, and it's weird. I hear something. Okay. Chance operations. Chance probability of, let's see here. We could go up like fifths or thirds and probably be safe no matter what. So if we did like a certain probability, it could do a lot. Could do like half, like 50%, and then make the type either to be like, let's go up 3 or like 7. Either way, it's going to round it out to an acceptable scale degree. Okay, and then we'll only do this on the even measures. Try to get my delay time dialed into like an eighth note. There we go. Then you get that thing, which is very enjoyable. One more modulation source. Let's just put some really slow. Okay, that's a nice voice. Let's not forget about that. And then maybe like one other one of some sort. Something kind of longer would be good. Let's see here. Already using that. I do have another chainsaw open. Hey, Immortal. Octave down, you think? It's going to conflict with the bass if you do that. Let's use part 2. And okay, we're going to do step length 3 and 4, 3 and 4, 3 and 4. Then we'll just do 3, 4 again. Gate, this is going to be tied to the second one. So basically, it's going to go kind of like every other step except for the last 2 ones, because those are going to be empty. All right, and then I need to do... Shit, I'm already using my precision adder, but honestly, I don't think I really need to. I think I can just keep this guy. I think I will. I think I'll just use this. I'll go straight into the volt per octave from number 5. We'll just give it a single volt per octave into that guy. But go there, you go there, go there. Okay. Here's pitch 2, and then we've got this little bitty hopscotchy doo-wacky. And then we send that off to the precision adder. And I'm going to add an octave to this. And let's send it to the Foxtrot Duo filter. And then from there, I think, too... Is it too far from... I think it is. No, maybe not. This guy I definitely want to drown in reverb.
To give it that delightful, distant feeling.
Dink, dink. Plate. Probably gonna need more daytime, but we'll play with it first. Let's see how it sounds. Oh, I need a gate. Because right now it ain't doing nothing. Oh yeah, let's change this, by the way, to quarter note. Time-wise. This is going to be very, very, very slow, comparatively. Alright, gate. I keep nothing. As soon as I come in here, I pull all of my cables and I start fresh every single time. That's just kind of how I want to do it, how my brain works. So it's the spontaneity of it that's inspiring, and like honestly, the hardware kind of directs you in a way. Okay, quarter note is too fast. It's getting reset early. Oh, it still is. Son of a... Okay, now it's not. Well, this lets you adjust the tone of the reverb. So it's like a high-pass, low-pass filter. So you make it real bright. Okay, now chance operations. Let's go 50%. And then type, this one's going to go up a fifth or a fourth. So up 5 half steps for the first note. And this one's going to go up 4, which will bring it to an A flat if it works. Like that. And then this guy can go up 3. And I think we'll trigger that every even bar. Yeah, for me, the stream records it automatically. Okay. I don't know. Let's throw all this together and see where we're at. What I want to do, though, is to get this subsequence, like, ready to go to manipulate by hand. Because this is all just going to be me tweaking this thing whenever I feel like it. Alright. Let's see what we got so far. Oh, we might as well start up the video synth for this. too sizzly. I don't like it. Delay, time, can be fun. Huzzah, we are victorious. Or something. I don't know. What I had in mind wasn't that. Basically turned into a weird jam in 7. Kind of. Yeah, this is the big failing that I see of the Acid Rain Maestro. It's really difficult to do things in odd numbers. But it's controlling the drum fill, and what I didn't do was go in and redo the whole drum fill chain to do something every like 7 beats instead of every 8. Or measures, I should say. So, anyways, thanks for joining me. Thanks for the donation. Upside Down. Appreciate it, man. Yeah. This should be Stolper Beats week. It's also, unfortunately, a super busy week for me, so I don't think I'm going to be able to stream during the week. Barring some wild circumstance, it's probably not going to happen, unfortunately. So, and I don't even know if I'll even know how to use it by Friday. But that'll be fun. So yeah, that's the next big thing. We're going to sub out the ZDSP for a Stolper Beats. I might regret it because I will miss that thing. I'm going to keep it here. I mean, it'll be around, but it is awfully big.